Do you hit links and visit websites in your day to day life? Oh, come on, you do, right? Or, for example, you want to build or want to have one website for you or your business, and you want to take all preventive security measures for website attacks. For that, you should be aware of those on first hand, right? I'm Vikas Tiwari and welcome to Programmers Mode. In this video, we are going to discuss about website attacks. I will explain you that by just simplifying it. So let's get started. The typical definition for the same is like in a website, if any vulnerabilities are there, so by attackers, that vulnerability is targeted to gain the unauthorized access, such as like passwords or sessions of the browsers. So let's talk about cross-site scripting. It is a type of injection attack where attackers target such websites which have higher rate of traffic. Web security vulnerability in a website allows an attacker to inject an malicious JS code that runs on user end, that is client side, and steal sensitive data such as login credentials. It is found that 1 in 3 website is vulnerable to cross-site scripting. Now let's talk about how to prevent cross-site scripting attacks. To prevent it, we should validate user input and always sanitize data. Sanitization is the elimination of unwanted characters from input. It can be achieved by removing, replacing, or encoding the characters. Let's talk about SQL injection attack. It is a cyber attack that injects malicious SQL code into an website or application. Here, attackers can gain the access of database and alter the DB. They can steal all user related sensitive data from the database. It is found as third most serious web application security risk. To prevent SQL injection attacks, we should do continuous scanning and penetration testing. It can be prevented by restricting privileges and sanitization of inputs to be done. Use stored procedures and prepared statements with parameterized queries. So, stored procedure is compiled SQL which is saved in database, and it can be used multiple times by an external program, wherein prepared statements are pre-compiled SQL commands. It is created inside a program which can be consumed many times with respect to application's lifecycle. Okay, next comes DDoS attack. So it basically stands for distributed denial of service. It falls under malicious cyber attacks. So it is planted by hackers or cyber criminals in order to make services or network resources unavailable for intended users on the internet. It is achieved by flooding a server with fraudulent traffic such that the server becomes unresponsive due to large number of requests. In 2018, GitHub was hit by ever largest DDoS attack where servers were flooded with over 120 million data packets every second. There are three main types of DDoS attack. It is listed as application layer attack, protocol attacks, and volumetric attacks. So let's talk about prevention of the same. It can be prevented by following tried and tested techniques. Now, what is that? We should have a DDoS response plan. So, suppose if a DDoS attack happens on a website, so a backup plan should be there. Improve network security and ensure server redundancy. Use cloud based protections and limit network broadcasting. And continuously monitoring should be done. Next comes watering hole attack. Now, here the attackers don't directly target the end users, rather, they target a site that is likely visited by large number of users or any particular target group. Here they plant the malicious code into site and wait for users to visit it. Attackers plant this kind of attack by utilizing the vulnerabilities in the website. The vulnerabilities can be of type network vulnerability, operating system vulnerability, human vulnerability, or process vulnerability. So the only way to prevent this is to keep softwares up to date. Now next comes cryptojacking. Now what is cryptojacking? It is a cyber crime in which a system is hijacked and its computing resources are utilized to mine cryptocurrency. Now it can be a malware that is installed unknowingly on victim's computer. It can be due to phishing or visiting suppose infected websites or maybe by other means. Now the question is how to detect it. You can watch the performance metrics of a system. If it is decreased drastically or your apps in system crashes, or suppose you face any unusual activity or poor performance, then it might be a signal that your system is being used for crypto mining. Also, there are many types of attacks, namely malware attacks, phishing attacks, spoofing attacks, brute force, or say dictionary attacks, or credential reusability. That is all for this video. Hope you found this helpful. If you liked the video, do subscribe and share with your mates. We will meet again in next video with an amazing and interesting topic. Until then, take care and thanks for listening.